pew, pew. Let's go.
It's that time again. Visionary value, baby. We back.
Got a little cough. Sorry about that. You know what I mean? Chronic cough. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Oh, chronic cough. Yeah, I know all about that. My name's T Chronic. T Chronic.
T chronic
That's what it
cough.
stands. I mean, that's what it is. It's T
I was
Chronic.
trying to get in the right mindset. You know what I mean? Because I got you.
Yeah,
and
man.
I can't be faking the cough, but I got T chronic. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back, baby. What's good? After a wild and crazy news day, we're here. Ooh, what happened within the last 12 hours?
Here's the wacky thing about that. If you're in the markets at all, crypto, stock trading, like even if you're a long-termer like me, I am a small-time day trader, right? Like I just don't do that. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I understand what you would have to do to be good at that, and that's a lot, right? 3 computers rolling all at once, pop. But you know, every now and again you look and you check it like, holy crap, Netflix is, at 85. Let me buy 3 more shares right now. So with all of that chaos and all of the conflicting reports and information you get on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now add war. Now add war.
What more you say? What more you say? Oh my God. Yeah,
I mean,
man.
the main issue right now I'm seeing, man, is as preparing for this show. We record on Saturdays for those that don't know, but the main issue I'm having right now is just all the dang conflicting information, man. Like if you're a person who's not trying to take sides, you're like, I'm not pro or anti.
And I'm not.
I just want to give
I'm not.
information. And what do we think what is going on right now? How do we feel like this influences the markets, crypto, precious metals, stock exchange? You know what I mean? Like, how does this affect that? But you can't get that information. You know what I mean? Because one side is like, here's a video of a bunch of Iranian folks cheering and they're so happy. And then, here's a video of brutal war. And you're like, I don't know what's going on. Rah. Rah. It's like,
Well, it's all about one's narrative. Whose narrative are you buying into? Are you buying into anyone's narrative?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
what
if
creating your
own
narrative?
Shopping? Yeah, what if you're not buying narrative? That's not what you're shopping for. You're shopping for information. You know what I mean? That Monday, when you go to trade, you know kind of what's going on or have an idea of what's going on.
Oh God, I can only imagine what's gonna happen on Monday. All I know is I got a few thousand in the on the side ready to dump into the markets within the next week.
Word.
I've already spent like several thousands on fucking stocks. Oh, sorry, stocks and crypto. I did promise you I was gonna.
We good. Let me see here.
But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Anybody that got cash sitting on the side, this is not financial advice. It never is. This is just my opinion. This is just Mike's opinion. We're not financial advisors, so we got to tell you right off the bat. But if you ask me, or if you ask Warren Buffett, if you can get in touch with Warren Buffett, but since you can't get in touch with Warren Buffett, you got me. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful.
Yes.
When everybody is panic selling, you buy amazing companies, buy stock in amazing companies that over the long term, at the price you buy it at, will be higher a year from now, 5 years from now, maybe even a week from now, whatever you want to do. But you buy low and you sell high. Don't do the opposite, my man, my woman. You get what I'm saying? My people. So, once again.
We don't give advice.
No. But that's how you make money. That's how millionaires are created, or 100,000 or 1,000, whatever you want to be, okay? It all depends on the size of your trade. I mean, if you only got $100 to trade with, you got $100. A 20% gain is a 20% gain. That's $20. Okay? 20%, $30. If you put 1,000 in, that's $200 on the 20%.
I can promise you, if you just put that $100 in the bank in a year, it'll be worth $93 period the end. That's it. Minus the bank fees, which would be another, 8%. So It'll be worth less than 100. Whereas if you put it in the market, might be less than 100, but it's at least an opportunity.
It's on paper. Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have to. You don't sell when you're low, when you're down.
I just pulled up Northrop Grumman. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. They produce weapons. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go figure that they're shooting up right now.
Yeah. Of course.
Just saying, if you're looking to invest in something right now,
interesting. Yeah, I haven't looked into that, but that's smart right there. Good one, Mike.
Just saying, man. Just saying.
Hey, visionary value. That's why y'all come here, right?
If it's business you're about, it's business you're about, right?
Sure.
So,
and by the way, just like you just mentioned, if it's business you're about, you're gonna have those people that go, "Oh my God, T-Cron, we're about to go into World War III, and here you are worried about stocks and crypto and how you can benefit and profit off of that." Where is your humanity? Where is your heart? Or you're supposed to be crying and sobbing and yelling and panicking and running for the hills just like everyone else. Yes, I don't like what's going on, okay? Me personally. But there's always something that's going on, bro. You still got to worry about yours. I'm sorry. Some of us hustle all the time. It doesn't matter. Okay? I'm going to try to make money. While everybody's screaming, running for the hills, I'm going to try to make that money. Call me an asshole. Well, call me greedy, whatever you want.
A lot of people want to just play a victim card when man.
I don't have to sit there and fight with everybody.
Yeah,
I don't. But I don't like it. I'm siding with those people that don't like it. I don't like what's going on right now.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that has to stop my cash flow.
I don't like war. I don't like. Yeah, man. Okay, so cool. You know what? That's a good idea, T. Let's get it out of the way first.
Okay.
That way, as we move on, we don't have to constantly give many disclaimers as we go. Okay. And I don't care how anybody feels about how I feel, but let me let you know how I feel. So there's no comments, there's no DMs going, you think this or you. Let me tell you how I think. I think this is a despicable war. Damn, let me tell you how I think for a second, okay? I think this is despicable. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong on levels. I think it has to do with an ally of ours that has way too much control over meaning the United States foreign policy. Ooh. And this so-called ally of ours has way too much control over it.
Ooh.
And it's a whole thing, man. And we don't have 3 hours to break down that tree. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be the meme with the whiteboard and this.
Although we don't have 3 hours, we do have a little bit longer today. Well, okay,
yeah.
Just so
but we've got other things to cover other than we've got other things to cover other than the.
But I'm just letting them know this is going to be a little longer, so stay tuned.
The U.S. petro, it's going to be an XL, but the U.S. petrodollar tied to Saudi Arabia, tied to oil, tied to Epstein, tied to Iranian leaders, tied to the aliens. Muslim immigration movement, tied to you know what I mean? We don't have time for the whiteboard and me putting all that together with aliens.
Holy moly.
Of course, aliens. Of course, aliens. Anyway, we don't have time for that right now, right? So, because it's all connected, brother. But regardless of that,
okay. Believe it or not,
I'm about to pull up a clip and fix my mic in a second. This has never happened, dude. I'm just freestyling. I feel like T right now. You know what I mean? Well, let me bust a freestyle about the man they call Trump. I'm not interested in taking a dump, but sometimes I feel enough is enough. To be honest and real, I'll do what I can, but man, Trump is not coming through with that original election plan. So I won't be a left-handed man, but on my right hand, I'll shake when I say I demand honesty and truth. What you gonna do? Give me one time, give me do some. M-I-K-E, it's easy to see why I need Trump to stand down. This Iran shit is bothering me. What is up, T-Crowd? Let's go.
Whoa! Shots fired! Shots fired! Holy shit! You about to have the Secret Service on your ass.
Here's the thing. Look, for those that don't know, I supported and voted for Trump. If you hate me now for that, okay, whatever. I don't care.
For those that don't know, I didn't vote for nobody this time.
I know, and you did not. You did not. Your disclaimer comes next. My disclaimer is this, okay? And it's not hard to see. I mean, there's like 2 years of podcasts with me. You know what I mean? with other people, doing politics
Yeah,
before I got out
absolutely.
of politics.
But you can change your mind.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I don't support this at all. And I don't support what Trump is doing here at all. I'm one of those people who supported Biden in some things and didn't support Biden in others. I supported Trump in some things and not in others. Obama, Clinton,
And
maybe
that's
not
okay.
Obama. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. I'm one of the few people left, as are you, where we can go, we support this thing and not this thing. We are not
Yeah.
religiously tied to any party. We're tied to our money. And we want these parties to do right so we can get our money, and more money equals less war, hopefully. So I am completely against this war. I think it's wrong. It is a straight up breaking of campaign promises. A lot of
Absolutely.
people really didn't like Trump, really didn't like a lot of what Trump stood for, but voted for him.
But voted for him
because
of
they
that.
have dead family members and forever physically impaired family members because they served in Iraq. They served in Afghanistan. And when you have an uncle that will never walk right again, who is an amazing man who could have done amazing things, but he will never walk right and has to take painkillers because of his back problems because something blew up too close to him forever, you're going to be so anti-war for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? When you lose people.
And to Mike's point, I just want to take a moment to thank every single one of those people.
Shout out.
Who served in the past, the present, and the future. The wonderful, extraordinary, brave men and women who serve right now that are in actively
right now in harm's
involved
way
in a war.
Literally, their lives are being risked.
God bless
Bombs
you
are
all.
blowing up right next to them.
Yes.
People are trying to kill them.
Yes.
God bless you guys. God bless you.
I'm not with it, bro. I'm not with it. There are certain things that, just like you said, like, I mean, there's many things that people voted for, and we always have to vote. We're always faced with a choice between the lesser of two evils. Let's not
there's no good choice. There's the evil and or a little less
less evil. Okay.
And sometimes you realize they're all in the back room working together anyway. The only joke is on us. We're the joke.
Remember, whether it's the right wing or a left wing, they're birds of the same feather. Heather. Sorry, your name's not Heather, but you get my point. It was just the first thing that came to mind that rhymed. We do stuff like that. Hey, but that freestyle was nuts, Mike. Okay. I never heard you like that, but boy, God put something on his heart. That boy had to let off. And now I see why they call you FW Mike.
You got to have fun with it. Actually, you never saw my stand-up, but that's how I opened my stand-up. I'm known for that, dude. I open my stand-up
doing a little freestyle and stuff like that.
Freestyle, and I get.
Maybe you gotta post more videos of some of your stuff. Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm kind of retired, man. We do this. When you make literally 12 hours of content a week with your face on it, you're not going to go dig through old content and go, look at me more.
Because you're constantly producing every single day. And that, hey, hats off to you for that, man. It takes a
my job.
People don't realize.
Brother, on the side note, you know how to, just like hip hop, just like podcasting, just like anything else, people get into this stuff and they think I'm going to work less hard than I would at a day job in a way more competitive market and expect quadruple the money and control over my life. It's like, no.
Right. It seems easy. It looks easy, but you have no idea what happens behind the scenes.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those. It doesn't matter what it is in life. If you don't want to work as hard as you would if you clocked in for 40 hours a week at somebody else's business, if you don't want to work as hard at your own thing as that, right? But you expect to make more money? Well, I don't have any time for you. You know what I mean? Like, you have to work as hard at your thing. Now, I'm lucky enough.
You have to work harder when it's your own business.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, dude.
Because you just don't know if that money's going to come unless you got one of those just, you're successful and you're already there. You got an existing clientele. You got millions of dollars of contracts and money's just, things are just booming. Business is booming, right? But for the average Joe that just starts a business, for somebody that just creates their LLC today and gets their feet wet, it can take a while. And you have to put in more work than you would at your 9 to 5. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no client department. So if you're working with, say, three main clients, right? Facetious.
Right.
You're doing work for them and you're getting paid to do work for a client. It's not like it's a job and you go in and the company has this client and you do their graphic design. And if they're unhappy, they talk to the company and bop bop. And then maybe a manager comes to you and is like, hey, they weren't. No, no, no. They'll call you at midnight going, hey, I was all busy and I sat down at 10 p.m. after the family went to bed and started looking over and I really don't like this thing here. Or I was thinking
Yep.
about this guest I couldn't get on my show
Yep.
and what should we do? And you don't get to go, hey, man, I'm taking time off. I'll talk to you tomorrow about it. No, you have to go, okay, we're talking about it now. Dinner and wife be damned. I got to work. Not that hey, look, we all choose our business. And I understand if I was a consultant, if I had a restaurant, whatever the case, we all do. You're a hip hop artist, man.
Yeah.
Producer.
When I was doing all those concerts, to your point, when I was doing all those concerts, bro, now I put my stuff on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry, I'm 42 years old. But back then I was 20 something, okay? I had left my ringer on. I had two phones. Anytime somebody would text me in the middle of the night, call me, usually within, you could ask anybody that's done business with me in the past. That man will get back to you within an hour to 24 hours at the max. Okay.
Yep.
If not, you get a text message or something from T-Cron. Like that's one of the reasons why some of the biggest names out here chose to work with me, including the Hot Lava Entertainments, your I Deliver Entertainments, Davey from My Evolution, just a whole bunch of people, man. Like there's so many, if I'm forgetting any of your names, my bad, but yeah.
Yeah, no, and a decade later, people are calling you from the mainland, begging you to come on tours with them. That's how good business you do, bro.
And other things that I can't talk about yet, but God willing, I will be able to, but Mike knows.
Man, honestly, bro, I'm going to be real. We got to do this, and we got to do this for everyone. One, I need a T-Cron shirt.
Okay.
And two,
yeah, you did mention that.
You're supposed to have a record dropping, and we're waiting on it. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting on it. So
yeah, the remember I told you about the whole the business setup?
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, boom.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing the stuff under my name anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, yeah.
Well,
and that's the thing. As you grow in business, you've got to change the way you do. It's just the way it is, man. No. As you grow, you got to do. If you're doing bigger things, you have to do bigger things. It's that simple. Everybody's like, but you can't stay the same and grow. That's not how it works, baby. You know what I mean?
I lost almost 9 years of progress. Now I have to make up for the 9 years that I lost, right? So this is what I would have done had I not stopped 9 years ago. But you know what? I had to do it. Sometimes things happen that way. Everything happens for a reason. The setback, let's put it this way, the get back is going to be better than than the setback. Okay. Sometimes you have to take a step back to reevaluate things, assess your life, make the changes that are necessary, whether it's mentally, physically, psychologically, or all of the above. Okay. I got the money now. Well, I'm not rich, but I'm not broke. You know what I'm saying? I can fund my own self. And of course, I'm looking for investors always, and sponsors and partners to take it to the next level. Yes, investors, sponsors, hit me up, TQRON808@gmail.com. Hit up Mike. Okay. We're easy to access. All right.
Absolutely.
Whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, I'm back better than ever. This is the best version of me, and tomorrow's going to be even better. That's the mindset, the growth mentality. So I've lost a lot of time, but shit, that record is coming, and when it does, there's gonna be no stopping, because then it's just like one after the other. You know what I'm saying? When it's just like what's going on right now. Now that it's started, there's no God knows when it stops. You know what I'm saying? It may not stop. God willing, it stops, but that's what y'all gonna say too. God willing, stop dropping on me.
It's happening. But that's also, I think, there's relatability, because even though you did it with entertainment and promotion and production, a lot of people out there feel like they're in your shoes. Maybe they had kids, they got married, they had 2 kids, they started building their home. You know what I mean? Every weekend was wrapped up taking care of kids and working on adding, a garage or pouring a driveway. And they did that for their years. And now they're, closer to our age. And they're like, okay, man, well, I did all that, but man, I didn't think about retirement. I really didn't. And here we are. So they're trying to get back that time. In their mind, they're trying to get back that time. And I think that's why this show and you are so relatable to so many, because it's not like they just checked out of life. They were busy doing good
No,
things
absolutely.
and building. But this
Absolutely.
part of it, what we're talking about now, and that's where I wanted to wrap. No, we don't support the war. No, we don't support the president and this war at all. However, our job is to hopefully help everyone with vision on how we can profit, invest wisely, or see where we can expect maybe some bull or bear action in the market. Regardless of our opinions and emotions on this thing, we are analyzing the value with our vision, hence visionary value. So while we don't support any of that, and I think I speak for both of us there, we also know in this time, money will be made and money will be lost. And stocks will blow up and stocks will die. Crypto and everything else. So that's what we're talking about. Right? Is that fair to say, man?
Fair to say, including in one of the sectors, like you were mentioning Northrop,
Northrop Grumman. Yeah. Northrop Grumman.
Oil. Because now there's going to be constraints on oil, quite possibly, and that means that the prices per barrel is going to shoot way up. The stocks are going high already. I've seen stocks that I made money on before, a little bit of trades here and there in the oil sector. Last time we had a threat of war, they've shot right back up, even higher than what I sold them for last time. So, oil, that's another one.
Here's a thought on that. If we're just gonna, to avoid sidetrack anger from listeners, we're not even gonna say names. We're just gonna say, if the guy running America, okay, right now, if the guy running America was straight gangster, okay, he came from that Sopranos New York world, right? And we're not saying good, we're not supporting, we're just saying if he's a gangster and he knows that oil is the number one drug on the planet, from electricity to vehicles to computers to everything, oil is that drug. It is that drug. It is the blood. They call it the lifeblood of industry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you're a gangster, your money is made in controlling the supply lines. Two ways. The most two important people in the organization are the money launderer, the guy who knows how to clean the money. That guy's protected at all costs, even more so than a boss. The guy who knows how to keep the money good, protected, taken care of, right? Because you need him. Nobody gets paid without him. So that guy's protected even more than pretty much anybody else in the organization. And the number two guy is the supply chain guy. The guy who makes sure that the supplies keep coming in, that wherever they're coming from, you guys control it, that nothing comes in or out without you knowing about it, getting a piece of it. So imagine if somebody maybe went to Venezuela where they have the largest oil supplies on the planet. And now the guy's going over to the Middle East, and we're going to be the ones who control all of it, speaking of cost. There will not be another country that oil doesn't flow in or out of that country without us knowing about it and us getting a piece of it. And isn't that kind of what it sounds like? Doesn't it feel gangsterish like that? Like, you know what? We're taking this all over. You want to sell oil, you go through us. You want to sell oil, we get a piece of it. You want to buy oil, you go through us, we get a piece of it. Isn't that kind of what it? I mean, the man was standing next to a huge oil tanker we stole from Venezuela, or took from Venezuela, seized yesterday. Did you see that yesterday? Did you see it as like, you want to know how good we do? Look at that. There was a whole press conference. This was on the news. This was ABC News. And he's standing there with like Rubio and a couple other guys. He's in Texas. And one of our Venezuelan tankers was there. And I mean, the thing was huge. And my man says, you want to see what we do? Look at that behind me. And I'm like, how does nobody see the play? The man wants to control all the oil in the world. It's that simple. He truly believes, and it will make America the biggest power in the world if we do. That's not an incorrect statement. And I'm like, do you not see the play here? The man is like, no, we're going to control all the oil everywhere. And then no more, all the wars are basically over oil. If we run it all, run up on us, we control, no more wars about it. Just run up on us if you want it. It's that simple.
But let me ask you a question, and all of that is very valid, very great points, and I totally understand and agree, right? But let me ask you a question. Do you think this would be happening whether it was Trump or not?
No. I'm not saying that. I disagree because I don't think.
What I'm saying is, if there was
And I'll
somebody
tell you
else in
why.
office
And
right now,
yeah,
do you
and once
think the
again,
agenda would still roll out the same way?
I don't. I
Okay.
think they would be way more focused on tech.
Okay.
I think because the movement is trying to get away from oil, but that's high level G4 nations. As you probably know, you pay attention to my Facebook. I've been speaking with people, and we're going to be doing a thing for Liberia soon. I'm putting together a charity thing for Liberia. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be putting together a thing for Liberia soon. But anyway, there are places in the world, dude, that don't have cars yet. Literally, like it's not the 80s, it's not the 70s, it's barely the 50s there.
Yeah,
And
it's barely the
oil for those,
1900s.
yeah, high speed internet means nothing to them. You know what I mean? Like that
That's
means
still
crap.
20 years down the road, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get you.
But cars, basic oil, basic manufacturing and industry, that's huge. And there's way more places in the world that are in poverty that need to be able to have factories and basic cars. And that's where the oil comes in. And you supply those countries, then how do I say, like, okay, so if I feed you, I kind of, you're going to help me out. We're homies, right? So if I feed you and somebody comes at me, I can say, hey, they're coming at us, right? So think about all the developing nations in the world. And if we supply them with oil and help them, this is what China was doing and is doing currently. Like in Africa, they're coming in and building, instead of blowing stuff up, they're building roads, building schools, things like that in these developing nations. And you automatically get the support and loyalty of these developing nations. And they don't care about iron ore. They don't care about the cobalt for cell phones. They don't care about that. So you can go in and take all the cobalt. You can take all the gold because they don't care about that stuff. They want the oil so they can have a regular life like we have. And so they'll gladly give you their cobalt. Cobalt means nothing to them. However, it's one of the most precious rare earth minerals on the planet.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, man. To me, the idea
But
is
no,
take
I
over all the
actually
oil.
didn't catch. I gotta check into the stuff you're doing for Liberia with Lisa and everything like that. That was on the
Very important.
epilepsy, the feed
The
podcast,
feed,
right?
yeah, man.
I try to catch as many of them throughout the week
Oh, yeah,
as
no,
possible. But I didn't see that one. I got to look into that one.
it's
But
okay,
I
man. We're
remember that.
gonna be talking about. It's just man. It's one of the poorest countries in the world. Over 50% of the people there don't have enough food. I mean, we're talking to a guy, and he's like, "We just want rice and beans and maybe shoes." And I'm like, "Man, when you're talking to folks who don't have rice, you're talking about how they eat leaves. Literally, they eat leaves, and they don't have rice, and they don't have beans, and they don't have shoes, and they dang sure don't have medicine."
Bro,
The
I'm
whole
sitting
country
here.
suffers from lack of clean drinking water.
I hate to say this. Last night I had a Mexican bowl from Senor Pepe, and I had rice. I had beans on it. I had lettuce. I had veggies. I had extra chicken, guacamole, and I'm sitting in the closet on the side. There are almost 60 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
Most of them are Nikes.
Yeah. I don't wear Nikes,
Yeah,
but I
man.
got about that. But mine are like Chucks
Yeah,
and
man.
Adidas. But yeah.
Yeah, man. I can't, and I'm
Yeah.
Pakistani. I'm from a third world country. I'm not, I was born and raised in America, but my parents are from a third. I've been to that country many
Oh,
times.
by the way,
as a
shout out to
child.
Pakistan. Y'all see what y'all are doing? Y'all are beating
There's
the
three
crap
wars.
out of
There's
the
three
Taliban.
wars going on right now, people. There's 3 wars going on right now. 3? What do you mean 3? Remember, Russia and Ukraine have been going on for how long now? Almost 3 years, whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You've got Pakistan and Afghanistan going at it. Okay. There's a full-on open war going on right now in
And
the
your
Middle
people
East.
are,
Right?
and y'all people are winning. Y'all are messing them up. So yeah, good stuff.
And then now, of course, as we speak, within the last 12 hours, within the last 24 hours, U.S. and Iran collectively, preemptively struck Iran, and Iran has reportedly struck back on Israel, and that's going on. So there's 3 wars, people, and all of that, how it affects you. If you think it doesn't affect you, buddy, your dollar is going to lose value. It already lost value before you even used it today. Okay.
Yep.
And if you don't we're not going to dive into why and how right this moment, but we'll touch on it. You can go ahead and do some independent research as well. Ask ChatGPT, ask Grok, ask Google, your favorite AI platform. It'll tell you how your dollar is losing value because of the wars.
Yep. Or gaining value. Other assets you have could be gaining value.
Well,
Precious metals,
if you
possibly
have
oil.
assets, if you've invested in assets, absolutely. But
Yeah.
if we're just talking about your money, your dollar,
Money,
you
yeah,
know what I'm
your
saying?
dollar
Yeah.
bill, yeah.
Especially if it's just sitting there in your bank account, your checking account, your savings account. Of course, the checking account is your checking account, but your savings account, you might get like 1% a year of interest on it. High yield, maybe 3 or 4%. But you want bigger returns, you go to the stock market, you go to the
Yep.
crypto market. Not financial advice, but yeah, that's how many millions and millions of people have been making money throughout the years. And I'm just mad that I got into it in 2021 during the AMC and GameStop short squeezes. I wish I was in it since like 2011, or when I was in my 30s, in my late 20s. But doesn't matter what age you are, if you've just learned about investing or are interested in the markets and stuff, please do some research. See if it's for you. You know what I'm saying? Educate yourself on what the potential is to make money for you, to make money for your wife, your kids, your grandkids, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. All this is important to know. The good thing is Pakistan is more our ally, clearly, than Afghanistan, which, is our sworn enemy from both sides. Pakistan is much more of an ally, clearly, to America. And the good news is Pakistan is absolutely just destroying Afghanistan in this. So, to the point of they're taking over a bunch of mountain bases that Afghanistan controlled before, and passageways and stuff. And Pakistan is like, okay, enough is enough. And I didn't realize how formidable their army is. They have like a really strong, good army. So I say go Pakistan. If you know about Afghanistan and what they do there to people, and I'm just saying, man. Joe Rogan has just if you ever want to just Google Joe Rogan Afghanistan podcast, and he's had some people who served there, and they talk all about how bad it is. So go Pakistan. That's what I'm saying. So.
Oh, and let me tell you something. I've lived in Pakistan for like as long as like up to 9 months at one time consecutively when I was younger. There's some stuff that goes on over there that is ungodly, bro. Ungodly. Wow. But I'm not gonna. Yeah,
bro. The more the more we do what we do, and the more lucky and blessed I am to talk to people around the world. The more we are so lucky to be in America, dude. Blessed.
Okay, so I'll this is gonna be something that sticks with me to this day, right? I was playing with a bunch of kids, or went out to this little field, their version of a playground, which had no grass on it. A little bit away from where my grandparents lived. And it was a bunch of just poor kids from the village around us. My family, however, they were well off. They in Pakistan, so they've got like this 3-story like a mansion, basically, like a mini mansion, if you will. Not really. I mean, we're talking like 8 rooms. So that's anyways, long story short, I'm playing with these kids. I'm from America. They could clearly see that I have a lot more meat on my bones. I was a big boy. Always been, right? Well, I was.
Yeah.
Not anymore. But anyways, they can clearly see that I dress differently. I talk differently. But I spoke their language and I understood their language, right? But still, I had an accent. So they would ask me where I'm from, right? And I told them. And they would look at me differently. I was almost like a celebrity to some, but the enemy to others. Why? Because around that time, we were at war with Saddam. Okay. Iraq. Okay. I was going to play cricket with them. You know what cricket is, right? Their version of baseball. Okay?
Yeah.
I had a cricket bat.
Paddles. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a cricket bat with me. And I couldn't remember. I was young back then. I remember this was in 92 or something when Iraq was going on. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how old was I? I was born in 83. I couldn't have been more than like 10 or 11 myself. You know what I'm saying? Um, bro, they were talking about AK-47s, and I was talking about cricket bats. I was like, what? That's what their parents had gotten them.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy, dude.
10-year-olds talking about. We're talking like their parents were in militias and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids are growing up with machine guns in their homes, and they're playing with them. Um, right after that, I said, I think I gotta go. I don't know if I want to play with y'all.
Well, but to be fair, right? Like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand it, man, it's like Pakistan is sandwiched in between two constant threats, right? Because India
India and yeah,
and Pakistan do not get along. I really
no,
don't know that. Like, I don't know the history there, but I'm just
they
saying I
were
know
all
they
big
don't get
one
along.
big country. It's just over religions. That's basically
Yeah, I
it.
know they separated in the same way
Yeah,
that
yeah. It
Ukraine
was
and
one.
Russia separated
Yeah,
over
it was all one
too.
big. Mhm.
Yeah. And so I know they don't get along, and India
Right.
has way more people. So I know
Yeah.
they don't get along, and they're forced to deal with a country that has a way bigger influence in the world just because a billion equals a billion, like it or not, right? And
Yeah.
then on the
Yeah.
other side, you have Afghanistan, and those are just, those if this was 1,000 years ago, those would be considered the barbarians in that they're not negotiators. The Taliban doesn't really negotiate with other countries. They come in and it's get down or lay down kind of situation. So
And then
uh they're stuck on one side by hardcore Muslim, old school cats, and on the other side by India that's like we're best friends with America and we love America, and Pakistan is stuck in the middle trying to do its best and doing a great job, by the way. But to me, it would be hard. Like, I kind of see you got to raise your children to be hard because they might have to pick up the gun just, you know what I mean, to keep your neighborhood. It's man, we're
but
lucky in America.
remember now, the 10-year-old in America doesn't
You
have to
didn't
deal with
understand. You just
this.
wanted to play. Yeah. You didn't get that. You just wanted to play. You wanted to play cricket like a normal kid. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. That was scary. Um,
That's man, we're so blessed to be in America, dude. You know what I mean? I want to go into these people's houses that are always complaining, and I want to go in, and when they go take a hot shower, you know what I mean, and use a clean towel, and then go to the refrigerator and get a cold soda and a
or
nice
take
snack
it or go number two on an actual toilet, a
with toilet
porcelain bowl
paper.
instead
Yeah,
of a hole in the ground.
and you get to press a thing, and it flushes
That's the
away.
thing.
It's gone. It just goes away. Exactly.
That's the
So, all
thing.
right,
Mhm.
let's get into the show. We've only been 40 minutes.
Woo. Yeah,
Ah,
man. This is just very
all
special.
right.
This is a very special episode of the Visionary Value.
It is. It is. So let's just hit the news. We've been talking about it. This was the latest news on a war that happened last night, updated an hour ago. Hold on, let me go ahead and hit refresh here. As you know, like you can tell, I pulled it up right before the show because it was an hour ago, right? So, but we've been talking a little bit here. Okay, updated 40 minutes ago. Israeli airstrike targeted Ayatollah Khamenei in Tehran, with
Yeah.
U.S. President Trump confirming his death,
Mhm.
calling him Israeli an evil figure. 99% certainty. 99%. No recent images appear. Reza Alvi urged Iranians to rise up, predicting a leadership crisis in the 86-year-old leader's absence since 1989. Okay. It looks like they're saying it's happened from because here's the thing, brother. You got Fox saying it, and then you got CNN saying it. So if both of them say it, a lot of times I can pretty much believe that it's probably a legit thing, right? So what are your thoughts on that?
All bad, bro. All bad. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Yeah, man. But it's inevitable. It's inevitable. We all know World War III. We've heard about it for decades. I feel it's already been started. They just haven't labeled it. 20 years from now, 30 years from now in history, we'll look back and these times that we've been living in have already been part of the World War III era. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, And there's literally one of my homegirls in Vegas. She hit me on the Snapchat, and she sent me a picture of where she works is completely dead, and it's a very big hotel out there. And I said, "Do you think it's possible that people are just glued to their TVs and phones and maybe not going out today just based on the war, what's going on overseas right now? There's a war that just broke out." And she goes, "Wait, what? What happened?" So I educated her and I told her, go to Google, go to Chat GPT or whatever you use, AI, Grok, whoever, and look it up. And then she messaged me back. She goes, "Oh, I didn't even know this was happening." I said, "A lot of people don't, right?" Um, and then she said, "Do you think they're gonna attack us?" That's so sweet and innocent. Um, no, I don't think that we're going to be attacked. Let's say, like, in other words, is a missile gonna drop on us from Iran or wherever? Um, God forbid it ever does. I strongly believe that will never happen. Um, as an American, I feel like we have the greatest um military and defenses out there, or at least I like to think.
Well, and
Um,
not only that, but a lot of
so
it has to do with economic relationships, which works
oh,
great for
absolutely,
our show. But
absolutely.
and I truly believe one of the best ways to avoid war is to do good business. If we have a country that makes something great and we buy it with the US dollar, which is valued high because we do a good job of, holding our economy together, then that really benefits that other country. And so we don't want to bomb a country that's making products we like and are buying, and they don't want to hate us if we are buying their products and are a good customer to them. We can get along, and I think that's so much more important and
No,
the
absolutely.
reason that we are okay in a lot of ways. And then, yeah, because we have the biggest stick. So
Yeah,
we
so
hit the hardest.
I had to kind of comfort her and be like, I don't think so, sweetie. I think we'll be okay. But but I did tell her, like, this is inevitable though. This is written. It's what's been written, whether you believe it or not.
Yep.
So yeah. But no, I just pray for not only our country, but even the ones that are affected by it right now with the war. I mean, with the fighting going on right now, those innocent poor people that don't have anything to do with anything.
Absolutely. I will say this part, something to hopefully feel better about. Production is messed up today. Hopefully to feel better about this right here. In looking it up, you can see here, this is from Shanaka Anselm Pereira, and he has said that today Saudi released a statement that erases every word of a call they said on the 28th, where they would not work with the United States, and it means all capabilities, all measures, and it basically said blank check written in the middle of a war. Whatever the UAE decides to do, Saudi Arabia just said it will support. Whatever Bahrain's response, Saudi will back it. Whatever Jordan, Qatar, or Kuwait determines is necessary, Riyadh just pledged everything it has. AFP correspondents confirmed explosions in the Saudi capital. So Iran is going after Saudi as well. So Iran attacked the UAE as well. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said wow.
Yeah. So basically, Iran and the problem is the brain that questions, right? I want to read this as basic news and go, okay, so it looks like everyone in the region is joining with America and Israel here. And that's a good thing because it means that they are more than likely to, go for peace way sooner, and now that it looks like their leader has been taken out, there's a very good chance here that this could be over quickly and peacefully. However,
That word, however, there's
do we
always a
believe
however.
this? Because, man, if I wanted the rest of the world in this region to team up with me, you know what I mean? How would I get them to? They pledged they would not be a part of it. They're not for it. How do I change that? How do I change their opinion? How do I change their heart and mind? And they go, yes, blow up Iran. How do I do that? You know what I'm saying?
Tell us, Mike, how do you do that?
I don't know. I just know that if I wanted you on my side in a war and you weren't, I could make sure that the side I was trying to attack slapped you. You know what I mean? Maybe peed on your lawn. You know what I'm saying? Maybe burn down your garage. And then when that happened, all of a sudden, you like me a whole lot more. All of my guns and boats and tanks in your neighborhood all of a sudden aren't a bad thing because you want no part of it. Now you're happy to see my guns and tanks and bombs. And you're like, yeah, you burned down my garage. America's coming. Right? I mean, you know what do you see what I'm getting at there?
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, you know what
It's
I mean?
all bad.
So, anyway.
All bad. Ugh.
It says Iran did not just retaliate against Israel this morning. It turned every neutral state in the Gulf into an adversary with one single salvo. The coalition that Washington spent months trying to build and could not assemble, Tehran assembled in one morning by attacking everyone simultaneously. So that's the word right now on who's joining and siding up with who for this thing. Just to kind of give a heads up there. And it looks like regardless of actual intent or what really went down, these other Arab nations are allying with the U.S. and Israel to go after Iran. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't like it. I don't like it. Because you just don't know who's siding with Iran on this one, right? Besides the Russias and the Chinas that everyone is aware of, you just don't know who's going to be partnering up with them. You know what I'm saying? And once again, WW3, not WWE, WW3. You know what I mean?
I prefer WWE. I really, really
you
do.
By the way, shout out to Sol Ruka. I got a WWE shirt. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, man, we got a big event, Elimination Chamber tonight for any of our wrestling fans.
I'll watch.
Yeah,
I'll be watching.
That one. Mm-hmm.
Although I do have some good news, man. Let's break down some good news. Digital Asset News, one of our favorite sources, just posted this since we've been recording. Bam. Look at that. And
where are we at right now for Bitcoin?
66,981. It
dropped to 63 last night. Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's up. Boom.
A little bit of a rebound. Yeah,
yep.
A little bit of a rebound.
And my man says, hold on, what do he say here? Whoever bought the invasion, all I can say is good job. Boom.
Whoever bought the invasion, not just the dip, the invasion.
I like that. Buy the invasion. Look at that.
By the way, the new buzzword I've been seeing, the Trump and dump. Not the pump and dump, the Trump and dump.
Here's my thoughts on it.
We're gonna be winning. We're gonna be winning so much.
Also, man, not for nothing, but well, no, it actually is winning. That's the problem. You just don't like it. But it's the monkey paw wish. Okay, it's literally the monkey paw wish. You know what I mean? It's like I want to be the richest man in the world. Okay, but you're gonna be the richest man in the world in the poorest, city on the planet, right? So but you're just surrounded by suffering and poverty. Like it's the monkey paw wish. We want to be winning. And watch, because here's my guess on it. Crypto is going to shoot up. Crypto is going to blow up. Can I tell you why? When does crypto go up the most historically? When historic fiat currencies are at their weakest.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Precious metals and crypto always blow up when either the dollar or the yen or the denarii.
Stocks are about to go to shit, though. Oh, sorry, about to go to hell, though. That's for sure.
Which ones do you think are going to get hit the hardest?
Oh, the tech sector always, because we got to understand right off the bat, the tech sector, you know what I'm saying? Oil stocks will likely shoot up. They've already started, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had a couple of oil plays several months ago that I got out of once they, once I made some profit on it, but I've seen them shot up. Like the defense stocks, Yeah, they'll probably, but I think tech sells off right away on Monday. I hope I'm wrong, but that's the beauty of the markets, right? Who's wrong, who's right? We never know. You just never
Yeah.
know. It's probability, but yeah, I think it dumps. I think it.
Do you think
I
crypto
just
dumps?
no, not crypto
Oh,
stocks at least. Crypto, I don't know, man. I mean, there was a huge dump. Now remember, the reason it dumped last night is because right when the news broke, stocks are not trading, right? They don't stock. They don't trade over the weekend.
correct.
Crypto is 24/7. So what's the first asset that you can drop if you're an investor, if you have that kind of money and you're scared of the market going to zero, however you think that, um, you're going to dump your crypto first. So that's why that happened. A lot of people got liquidated because they're leveraged. They're leveraged long, meaning they're playing with money that it's not theirs. They're basically they're getting a loan, they're getting bigger positions. And what happens is when you're leveraged like that, when you hit a certain price, if it drops to a certain price, automatically it sells. So when millions of sell orders get triggered at the same time, that's where you see that kind of drop. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm looking here. I'm finding some news for us here, dog.
So like I said again, it recovered a little bit right now, 66, 67. Okay. But who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? God, I just know that gold and silver are gonna skyrocket even higher. They went bonkers towards the end of the week. I made money on silver earlier in the week. I got out of my position only to see it go higher, and I'm a little bit mad, but that's just how it works. That's just how it works. How it works. Sometimes you're gonna leave money on the table. You could have held a little bit longer, but I got into a different play using those profits. It is what it is. um you gotta even though you're down in your overall portfolio in the red because of just the macroeconomics, learn how to trade certain stocks, certain crypto, to make profit and then dump back into your long-term portfolio so that you average down your price per share comes down. You have more shares over the long term. You'll end up making money if you have good assets.
Absolutely. Once again, long term is how you got to think. The good news is we are overall trending better in 2026. However, if you look, yeah, there was a big dump on the 23rd, climb, and then drop back down. So, um, currently, as it stands right now, Dow is down, Nasdaq is down, the S&P is down. Question is, do you think this is a trend?
Yeah,
You think it's going to go even lower?
yeah. I personally, yeah, absolutely. This
Fair,
this threat
fair.
of war. You know how many people are about to cash out on Monday? Everybody's gonna
Well,
start looking at their 401ks any day now. You
okay,
remember
fair.
how it
When you
was?
say, and that's fair. But when you say cash out, what do you mean? Because they're not going to just pull into US dollars and whatever their fiat currency is. Nobody on this level thinks that that's a good idea, right? So, where are they going to put their money? Are you thinking precious metal? Are you thinking crypto?
A lot of people are just
And
going to go in cash. That's what happens. People cash out whatever the value it is, whether you're up, whether you're down. A lot of people panic sell. You know what I'm saying? They just want to, they whatever value is in their account right now, they want all of that. Okay. In 2 business days, it'll come right back to them in their account, whatever their funding source is, right? They want to hold it in cash until they understand that this is going to be a long term threat or not, and then they might put their money back in. But that's where the panic selling comes from. You just don't want to lose your on, you don't want to bleed anymore. If you're already bleeding, or if you're in the green and you've been profiting for a while and you feel like this might be the end of the road, you better lock in now or you're screwed. You know what I'm saying? So people start just hoarding cash at that point.
yep,
They may not even reinvest it into anything else until things are a little more certain.
that's where that land comes in. You know what I mean? When people, a lot of people, as Rob told us, with land, you go back and you put your money into land, or you put your money into a land group trust, because then that money sits there, doesn't move on the market. But land is a solid asset, and it will always be there. And the more people that happen, the more valuable that land becomes. They don't play with it in a market. They just put it in a land trust, let it do that slow roll of 2-3%, and with no tax on it. And so, yeah, non-taxable 3% income straight up, man, and that's what they do. So, I just wanted to show this part of what's going on right now in the U.S. I'm going to show you Mideast and Africa right now. So, no information on that, but everything is up over there, which is interesting, right? Whereas everything is down over here. So that is something that, just important to keep in mind. Let's see here. Asia's markets are up. European market is up. China market is up. Okay. And then futures are all down. Woo! Futures are all down too, except for the FTSE. So, all right. And so there's that. Then I want to go over to the cryptocurrency. Guys, CoinMarketCap is a great website to get a quick glance at what's going on in the market. As you can see here, you have everything you kind of need for a quick glance. I do not recommend this for if you're deep trading, you know what I mean? But if you have money in the market or you just kind of want to know what's going on, this is a great website. You don't even really have to click any other web pages. I love a website where you click on one page, you get your information. You don't have to go digging, but it's also there. What do you think of this website?
Oh yeah. A lot of people use it. I personally don't. But you're right. For somebody that's trading, you need charts, you need technical analysis. Like you can't do technical analysis on this.
No. But if you have money and you want to see how it's doing,
but it's just yeah.
Or you're thinking, you know what I mean? Tether is
absolutely
up.
CoinMarketCap. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Tether's up. Bitcoin is down 0.7 in the last hour, but it's up 0.63 in the last 24 hours. So there you go on that, down 1.23 in the last 7 days. Right now it's at 66.9. Woo, it's climbing overall. Look at that. There you go. There you go.
You seen that meme? That little meme I posted about on Instagram. I think you pressed the little laughing emoji on there. But that uncle that you convinced to buy Bitcoin at 100,000 caught running after this.
That was funny. That was funny. I like that.
The only thing you can do is make fun of shit stuff like that, right? In these times, right? To try to alleviate the pain a little bit.
But man, if he didn't sell, he's gonna be happy in a couple years. Just So I still keep coming back to Tether and Ethereum, man. You know what I mean? Ethereum got so expensive so quick, and then if you look, there are a lot of utilities right now talking about
Ethereum. Ethereum keeps dropping to about 18 and then starts rebounding from there.
Yep. I wanted it to go lower, quite honestly. So
of course, everybody does. Everybody wants to buy in 1,000 or 1,200, right? But nobody wants to see it go down there.
I remember when it was 400. You know what I mean? So Tether is killing it. XRP, another favorite of digital asset news. Our boy Rob, XRP. It works a lot like Ethereum, kind of its little brother.
Yeah, I bought more XRP too. I started, my price on there is like one in the 140s right now. I'm gonna wait for it to drop a little bit more and then buy more, lower my price.
Market cap is up on it. Yeah, and it's one of those. It's fun because look, XRP is $1.37. You can buy 50 XRP coins right now, and watch them. Look at the USDC; it's up. That's a very good thing. That's a very good thing for us. Huh? I'm surprised at that.
It's just smart people buying the dip. That's all. But don't worry, the dip will keep dipping, I believe.
Yep. Well, that US dollar is huge for everyday. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doge is up a little bit even. I have Doge, like I said.
Doge is in 8 cents. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I was thinking of buying more.
9 cents right now. You know what I mean? 9.
I've been averaging down. I got into Doge when it was like 40 cents, 42 cents. Finally, just start. Now my average price is 15 cents. So I'm
I
still
think
in the
that was
red.
the high. I think 42 cents was the high.
Yeah, I know, right? Smart. Damn, good job, T-Cron. Listen to my
Because I
pops
remember
and got
seeing it
into
at
that one.
40. I remember
Yeah,
hoping it was going to go to $1.
yeah. Everybody, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what everybody thinks, but it's okay. I'm at 15 cents per coin right now, 15 something. So yeah, I'm in the red. It's
Yep,
all
its
good.
high
It's
was
all good. It's all good.
its absolute high of all time was 63 cents. There you go. See?
Yeah. It's anybody that is not in crypto yet and is thinking about it, pondering it, um, God bless you. may you
Good
be
luck.
able to may you be able to withstand all of these mighty 30%, 40%, 50%, 60% swings. Everybody loves seeing it go all the way up and shooting to the moon like it's never going to stop, but just remember it has the potential to keep dropping. What goes up must come down at some point. Doesn't mean that it won't climb again, but just remember this is part of the game. I said it before, I said it again. If you can't stand to be down $1,000, you don't deserve to be up 10,000. Okay. Nobody's going to be able to time the market at the very bottom. Nobody's going to be able to time the market at the very top. And if somebody has, hats off to them. They're a rarity. Yeah, it just doesn't happen, bro. So you're going to win, you're going to lose. It's part of the game. For somebody to win, somebody has to lose. Just remember, when you win, somebody else loses. Your turn is going to come one day too. So just
Hold
be
and
aware
win.
of it.
Yeah, man. So it's a little interesting thing I wanted to bring up as well. Iran has the lowest cost on the planet to mine Bitcoin.
Oh, you mentioned that. Yep. Okay.
This
So
is what I
go
wanted
ahead.
to get into just a little bit here.
Yep.
This was yesterday's Digital Asset News.
Yep.
Sized Bitcoin mining operation. And because their rate for electricity is so low, did you know this? That cost to mine one Bitcoin in Iran cost $1,320. Yeah. I'll wait. You can go to Perplexity or Chat, Grok, anybody, and you can just double check that. But that's the information that I'm getting. That means that it cost them essentially nothing. And that could also mean that could be a little bit of sell pressure. Now, if Iran gets bombed upon, I don't know how much they're going to be producing Bitcoin, but these are the numbers. You got 0.005 kilowatt hours. And what they...
Crazy.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, man.
produce per month is around 2,000 Bitcoin. Ethiopia, same type of thing, but they're only 450. Sudan, 135, 270. Paraguay, Russia, 5,000. And USA leading the charge, excuse me, sorry, with 29,000 Bitcoin. But there's that actually at 17 kilowatts per hour. Now, just so everybody knows, USA miners have a deal with the electric company in the great state of Texas and across the country, where they say, look, we're going to use electrical sources that aren't being underutilized, escape gas, those type of things, flare-offs. Also, if you want us to shut it down, you pay us to shut down. We'll shut down. You guys can use whatever electricity you actually need for the grid. So the 17 cents is a little bit misleading. And I found it interesting that USA costs $102,260 to produce one Bitcoin, yet we still produce 29,000 Bitcoin. I would be surprised why Iran isn't even higher. And Italy is the highest at 306,052 cents kilowatt hour. Of course, you can read the economic context. But there's this point here where you might say, well, that's a lot of sell pressure. Actually, it's not. Did you know that the volume in February so far, the volume is 2.43. That's not dollars. That's million buying and selling of Bitcoin. 2.43 million, quite a bit. And that's just for the month of February. In January, the volume was 1.72, 1.62, then 2.3 and 2.2. So pretty much in line with what's going on today. That was back in October, November when people were selling like crazy. So yes, Iran does have quite a run on everybody else. That will probably shut off if there is a war, but it's only...
Okay, so I shared that to talk about, or to maybe touch on the fact that Bitcoin could be going up because the exclusivity because one of the major miners and the lowest cost miner of Bitcoin on the planet is going to stop mining Bitcoin because they might not even have electricity in that country for a while.
There you
So
go.
scarcity equals value,
Well,
right?
Rob did say that this year Bitcoin will either go to $5 or 500,000, right?
And
So I
and
think.
he's absolutely right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Shout out to Rob from Digital Asset News, a friend
let's
of the Visionary
go.
Value podcast.
Sorry, wrong one. But yeah, so I think that's an indicator. I think Bitcoin is on its way up for multiple reasons. One, there are millionaires in Iran that whenever a foreign country comes in, they go for the money. Of course, they go for the assets of that country first. That's what they do.
Yep.
Ever since Babylonian times, what's the first thing you do when you take over? You go to the king's, you know what I mean, place, and you take his crown and his jewels, the king's jewels, right? The crown jewels. So from the beginning, and if you're in Iran, if you're a billionaire or a millionaire in Iran, and you know that the U.S. is coming for that money and they've already seized and shut down the banks, where do you put your money? Where do you hide your money? Where do you keep your money safe where no government can get to it? You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, okay, I'll put my
Are
money
you
with the
saying they buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, exactly. Are you saying they buy the thing that they mine cheaper than anybody else in the world? Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think crypto is about to experience a huge jump, in my opinion, because
I pray so. I mean, if it doesn't happen at this, during this whole bit, it will happen, I believe, of course. I know it's going to go beyond its current all-time high. You know what I'm saying?
well, I
Man,
just
what a
think
year
the
it's already
harbor.
been.
We haven't
Whew.
have
Ugh.
we really had a war this big since Bitcoin and
Well,
crypto
no,
was thing?
so I mean, remember now, we just bombed Iran in
Yeah, no,
June of
no.
last year.
Okay, but not like a little BS bombing thing. I'm talking about like
Well,
a full
yeah,
on
this
world.
seems to be a lot. This one is hitting differently. Let's put it that way. And yeah, this one seems to be the big one. No, probably not. This is probably the biggest. This is probably the biggest,
What I'm saying.
at
That's
least
what
in
I'm
recent memory. So
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, man, whew, these times. Oh man, I forgot. We didn't even touch on this one. Nvidia earnings.
Oh, it came out. Oh my gosh,
Nvidia earnings
that
this past
normally
week.
would have been leading the show, but yeah,
Right,
sure.
right. There was just so much. There's so much going on. So much to talk about. Nvidia earnings, bro. They shot to $203 after hours when they announced their earnings and blew things out of the water. Right, only to within the next 2 days go down to like $177. What the f? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Do we have any idea on that?
I do, because apparently the outlook. Yes, they beat previous quarter, but the outlook, a lot of people on Wall Street weren't too impressed with. So that's essentially what's causing the sell-off. To me, that's a buying opportunity. Of course, then you have the big bear, Michael Berry, just wants to bury the market. He hates Nvidia. He feels like this is the Cisco.com bubble type thing with Nvidia, and they keep saying that. Remember now, Nvidia makes up almost 8%, if not 8%, of the S&P 500. That is in your portfolio, your 401ks, whether you believe it or not. Nvidia is the biggest stock the biggest company on the planet when it comes to the value of it, almost $5 trillion. Okay. So Nvidia went to $203 a share after hours, only to just 2 days later go down to 173. To me, that is that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Nvidia's just been in this range for like 5 months now, maybe going on to 6 months now. it'll break out. And when it breaks out, people are gonna be mad if they started selling their Nvidia. That's all I can say. I just keep stacking. I just keep stacking every so often. So what I'll do is I'll build it up to a point where I'll sell a couple of shares and then take some of that money and put it into other plays, and then I'll lose a few dollars on that play and be like, yeah, that was stupid. I probably won't do that for a while. Then I see a new shiny object that just pops up, and I'll be like, yeah, let me sell another Nvidia share or two, and then take that money and put, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing, you know. Just, but yeah, I like to stack Nvidia, and then Netflix. Let's talk about Netflix, bro. Let's talk about Netflix. It went back up to what, 96 yesterday. Okay, remember now when I started talking about it, when we started talking about it, Mike. It was
over 100.
It was about 100, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I started buying it at 100, okay, and then it dropped all the way to $75 in the coming months, okay, which I predicted. I said I don't care if it goes lower, which it probably will. I'm gonna stack up some more, and now I'm very happy that I did. I stuck to that strategy. In fact, a couple of my Facebook friends have expressed happiness in the fact that they bought Netflix when I started talking about it, and now they're in it. So yeah. Anyways. Congratulations to those that have been holding Netflix with us and stuff like that. Just remember, if you're satisfied with the profit and you're in the green, by all means, cash out. Don't feel like you have to hold forever, right? But if you're somebody that feels like there's a lot more room to run, this is just the beginning, whatever, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Remember, you make those decisions, not me, not anybody you hear on YouTube. They can talk, they can suggest, or they can not suggest, but they can comment on whatever they want. It's you that decides what to do with your money, not us. But yeah, congrats on Netflix holders.
Shout out, man. I'm happy myself. I'm personally in on that as well. Once again, Netflix is one of those long-term plays.
And you know why that is,
not.
right? You know why that shot up after hours the other day is because they're no longer, apparently they're just not going to bid on Warner Brothers. It's just Paramount's outbid them apparently, and investors are happy about that because they're just like, it's just, this deal is just gonna, they didn't like it. It's just would go too much money,
too much work. Yeah, on that, like, yeah, too much. Yeah, too much money, too much cost. You know what I mean? Too much cost on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a
man. So yeah, everything I'm trying to find all the crypto news here on this, but everything I'm getting is just kind of saying, that they expect crypto to go up right now. So that is what I'm getting.
As it should. As it should. As it should.
As it should. I agree. Let's see here. What's crypto.com saying? They usually give the best here. So
I was feeling a little low on energy, so I reached for I don't know, some of y'all probably seen this at the I got this at Sam's Club. Nuri ultimate, what is it? Ultra filtered protein, 30-gram milkshake. So got a case of that. Try it out.
So you're feeling good. You're feeling powerful.
Well, I'm about to drink it. I'm feeling a little low on energy right now. 150 calories, 1 gram of sugar, 30 grams of protein. Let's go.
Let's get it. I got 50 grams of caffeine, but I'm also doing the Lion's Mane stuff here. So there's that. Let's see here. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm trying.
People, eat your protein, drink your protein. Protein over carbs any day.
All day, every day. Yes, yes. And then if you can get it in a drink, congratulations, you can get it in a drink. So, okay. I'm just getting war news, not finance. It's like everything finance pauses. You know what I mean? And wait.
Related.
The
problem is it doesn't pause because everything that happens because of the war directly correlates to your finances.
Exactly. It's crazy that we're getting news as we're talking. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It's still within the first 24. You know, this is where everybody that's late to the party is like, oh, wait, what? There's a war? Oh my God.
Let's see here. There we go.
You know, a lot of people aren't going to know about this unless their social media feeds if presented to them, or they're going to work on Monday and their coworkers are talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But how can you not know in this day and age with all the information that's out there?
Let me pull this up and we can just kind of go through this. And then I'll pull up my other guy and we can start heading out because, man, other than safe long-term plays and things we've talked about, like your Netflix, that's what I got to do is pull up the NVIDIA. But right now, I'm going to pull this up and let you kind of talk about this right here. All of this, basically lots of spikes going on in the digital markets today. Then right here, thing is the Strait of Hormuz is where most of the oil in the world comes from.
Oil,
and it's already been shut down. This guy said an hour ago if they shut it down.
Which is why I mentioned oil stocks earlier surging.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. So right now they'll be lucky to get crude at today's prices. Oil is oil. The market is worldwide. Even if the stuff we drill in the U.S. it will be shifted. Okay. So this guy's an idiot telling us that like it'll be fine, and it will not be fine. So that is the concern there. I hate the people. I don't hate.
Remember,
anyone.
bro, for everybody that thinks yes, there's somebody that thinks no.
Yeah. It's
If not
just very
two.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
The people that do that, it's very frustrating to me. So
Yeah.
All right.
That's just life, man. There's always two sides. And then there's the one in the middle.
I'm gonna pull up my man here and watch him because he has a great little drop. This
Most of the BS news you can also find on X and Twitter. So it's like you got to kind of vet everything that comes out there. Yeah, 24 hours ago, there were 7 countries in this conflict. Now there are 12. By Monday, there will be more. Well, that's not good.
Everybody's going to pick a side.
Yep. Yeah, this just came out a couple hours ago. So, and he's kind of throwing the way
Iran, Isfahan, Qom, Karaj, Armin Shah Tabriz, and Lorestein is a single coordinated operation. Iran answered by firing missiles at every American installation it could reach. This is true. Remains 5th Fleet headquarters. Al Dhafra in the UAE. Gosh. El Udeid in Qatar. El Salim in Kuwait. Jordan shot down 2 ballistic missiles. Saudi Arabia, which 4 weeks ago personally promised Tehran it would never allow its terror to be used against Iran, released statement pledging all its capabilities to all we just talked about that. Now watch what's moving in the shadows. Russia signed a 500-unit Verba MAN PADS deal with Iran in December. China is finalizing CM-302 anti-ship missiles for the Navy. Joint Russia, China, Iran.
Navy did not do that. Oh my God.
China. Anyway, yeah, man. He's just breaking down a lot of what's going on, and then he drops back to the Bitcoin for today.
It was February 24th, 2022. I think we all remember 2022.
Yeah, man.
It was a pretty brutal year, but it wasn't because of the war. It was just one thing that actually contributed to it. Yeah, February 24th, people bought the invasion, and it just chopped sideways. Then they got bored, and then to March. And then we just slid all the way down in June. Look at that drop.
But see, okay, so here, and I understand what he's saying, and I'll tell you why I mildly disagree with him here, because Bitcoin wasn't looked at in 2022 the way it's looked at now. All of crypto wasn't looked at in 2022 the way it is looked at now. Most billionaires didn't look at Bitcoin as a safe harbor from the markets and volatility and what do you call it? Money volatility. Can't think of the term. Fiat currency volatility, excuse me. So with that in mind, I think people are going to be putting their money there because they don't trust the dollar. And not even necessarily but any dollar for that matter, man. So, and then speaking of your NVIDIA guy got this right here. This is interesting. Watch a couple quick minutes of this. This is why NVIDIA's stock fell even after reporting 73% growth.
You were saying like their market cap is more than a lot of companies. NVIDIA's revenue for 2025 is roughly equivalent to Intel's market cap. It would make it the 47th largest publicly traded company in America. So just kind of put it right next to its biggest competitor.
Yeah. I just mentioned that they're the biggest.
This one is a tough one for me. I don't own it because right now it's a lot of expectations game, and everyone has been absolutely wowed by NVIDIA's growth of the past couple of years, and for good reason. Like we were just talking about the numbers that they were putting up this past quarter, and it was 74% growth year over year. I'm not getting the number completely correct, but I know I'm directionally correct there. It's the idea that a company of this size can be growing at that rate is mind-boggling, and there's part of me that just be like, this is impossible. There's no way that like 3, 4, 5 years we're going to just continue to see these types of level of growth. And that's where the expectation game comes in of like, how much are you willing to pay for a company when you kind of know deep down inside that like this growth is going to start decelerating?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because you were absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head. It was 73% year-over-year growth. And NVIDIA, they beat earnings estimates, they beat revenue estimates, and their guidance was better than the market expected. And the stock's down 5% today as we are taping this. We're recording this the day after the earnings announcement. So I think that the numbers were strong. This is not the first time NVIDIA has beat its estimates and fallen. That's pretty par for the course these days.
That happens
it's
every
kind
time.
of like priced for perfection in a way.
And I'm just trying to really...
I feel like if NVIDIA had a blowout quarter, it would rise, but I don't feel that this was it. And you mentioned the math of this business, the 73% growth. Right now, data center spending is just off the charts. I think that the Mag 7 alone is expecting something like $750 billion of capital spending this year. Between Meta, Amazon, and Alphabet, it's over $500 million they're planning to spend. And a lot of that's going to
$500 billion, buddy.
$500 billion.
$500 billion.
Yeah, thank you. $500 billion. And a lot of that's earmarked for NVIDIA chips. So let's just play this out for a little bit. If you were going to grow by 73% this year, which they already did, another 73% in 2026, another 73% in 27, 28, 29. By 2030, you're talking about $4.5 trillion of spending from those three companies. That's a lot. That's not going to happen. We talked before we recorded that there are some papers that predict like $6 trillion of data center spending by 2030. That's overall. That's talking about between now and then.
Okay, and just to pause on that, let me tell you why I don't see that happening necessarily. As things go now, yes. But here's the problem. Think about what's the number one problem with AI and tech development. You need data centers. Well, what's the problem with data centers? They need
Energy.
a ton of space, a ton of water, and a ton of electricity and energy to run.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what do you do there? You can do the analog thing, which is keep trying to eat up more space, more water, more energy, or you use the smartest brains, computer brains in the world, and what do? You create more efficient ways. They're already working on more efficient ways. I'm telling you, by this time next year, it's going to be way more efficient to produce a kilowatt hour. And then in 2 years, even more. And in 2 years, even more. Think about the fact that there were computers the size of rooms that didn't have the technology your cell phone has on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're in that phase of AI where the computer's the size of rooms to give you less processing and computer power than a cell phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or AI. But give it 5 years. A bedroom apartment could be all it needs to run Grok, because they're going to get smaller and smaller and more efficient over time. So those papers that say that they're going to always blow up, I'm not so sure about with the data centers. However, I think I think they're still a great invest. What you call it? I still think Nvidia is a great investment. And on that, I wanted to just scroll down, and I thought you'd appreciate this. Consider when Netflix made this list in December 17th, 2004, if you put $1,000 in at the time, you'd have $519,000 today. Or in April 15th, 2005, if you invested $1,000 in Nvidia, you'd have $1 million today in 20 years. That's good. A lot of people work for
That's
20 years
good.
and never make $1 million.
That's
So,
that's bro. That's incredible. Like that's out. $1,000 to $1 million, a 20-year span. 1,000, $1 million. Nothing's guaranteed, however. But yep, that's history, and that's why I'm an Nvidia holder. I screwed up, bro. I screwed up the first time. The first time I got into Nvidia, I remember in 2020, and I think I've told this story on one of our episodes before, but when I first got into the markets after the AMC fiasco and GameStop, I actually started learning. I gained interest, and I kept going. It wasn't just a lot of people just got in for AMC, lost money, and never traded or bought another stock again, right? That was it. That was their trading career. I started learning about Nvidia and all these other big companies, and I actually bought at a stock split where they split. I think it was a 10-1 at that time. The stock was somewhere around $1,000 or something. But when they split, it may not even have been a 10-1. It might have been like anyways, it went to like 186 a share. I remember. I bought in. I had just under like 10 shares. And that was my first time in a really big, blue chip company. And I saw those shares go from 186 to 342, I'd like to say, within like a few months,
nice.
several months. I was like, holy crap, this is how people get rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, I finally, I felt like I cracked the code or whatever, right? But then from like the 340 something mark, it started just dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. And this is my first and I went through this with the AMC GameStop squeeze. Well, I didn't buy GameStop really. It was more AMC. I bought AMC at $10, saw it rise. I was there that morning working from home when it went to $72 a share, and I didn't sell.
Woo.
I honestly thought it was going to go to $100 or more. So I held on only to see it drop, bro. I ended up selling at $24 from $10 to $24. So yes, it was a profit, but nowhere near the type of money I would have made if I sold it around 70, right? Lesson learned. So now I'm doing this with Nvidia, okay? So I go from 186 to 340 something. Now it's just dropping into the threes, into the 270s, the 250s, I finally gave up, and I was like, no, I gotta keep some of my profit, right? Before it goes right under my price and I go in the red. So I sold it at like $224 a share from 186 to 224. Yes, I still made a profit, but nowhere near what I could have made. Only to see those same shares, bro, within 3 years go to almost 1,200 or whatever it was just before this last split. Okay. That's why on this last split, I'm back in. Okay. I started buying back in around, I think it was 125 or something like that. Yeah, that was stupid of me. And so ever since then, I'm not selling I'm profiting off of my Nvidia whenever I do want to just take out a couple of bucks here and there and then buy something else sometimes if I don't want to put some new money in there for whatever dumb reason. But I find that just putting more new money in there instead of selling Nvidia, you just don't sell Nvidia. I don't. Sorry, this is not advice, but that's just me. Anyways, long story short, from 186 to 1,200, bro, in 3 years. Well, not even 3 years, 2 years. Where else can you do that? Just stop.
Yeah, exactly. Where you're not punching, and once again, it's your money making money for you. It could have sat in it could have sat in a savings account.
Yes.
You'd have just lost value on it. You know. So
that's why I have the hashtag invest in something.
Invest in something.
I'm not telling you what to invest in. Just invest in something.
It'll learn you. You know what I mean? It'll learn you. So there is that. All right, man. Let's check this out right now as we round the corner. We about to head out, y'all. We always like to leave you with some Wall Street Looks Like Us Now Wall Street Trapper
Wall Street
info.
Trapper.
Check out this one.
We come from an era where like you could go outside at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, come back when the street light on. Nobody ain't checking on you. None of that. You made sure you got home, right? But there was an era before us that told us how lucky we was to do that because we ain't had to worry about like police bashing our heads. So every generation get to stand on the shoulders of a generation before them. And the thing about this generation is, I love them, but society has made them so detached from things like this, they don't even know this, right? And it's not like it ain't there, but we live in a society now where it's, I want your attention. And so now they can't sit down and learn about a Fred Hampton, they can't sit down and learn about, you know, outside of just what we hear about Martin Luther King and what we hear about like Malcolm X, but there's so many other people that died and like made things that we have now possible. And so even though the stock market is 100% a capitalist mechanism, for me, I feel like it's the only way that we have to combat what they got going on from a monetary perspective. But I use it because it's the vehicle, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you got to work a job, whatever your thing is, the one thing we all have in common is that we all are consumers one way or another. And we all come from the same class of people. And we come from the class of people that don't have the luxury to not walk around and look at gas prices. No matter how much money you think you have, and I can be real with y'all, like, I'm in here, this ain't no big deal. Like, I'm straight financially, but I don't know what's ahead, and that money don't look like it. Don't think it's as secure as you think it is. Does that make sense? Because we don't know what's ahead. We got somebody in office that's reckless. And so instead of me wasting my energy being mad at, man, he doing this, he doing that, my mind is, so how do I make sure me and my people? Our people fought so much. Racism is just the glitter that they show everybody. But you know what the real thing is? Classism. We come from an era.
Classism. What do you think about that, man?
Yeah, man. Like I was saying earlier, I felt like I cracked
Any
the
thoughts?
code. Yeah, like I said earlier, I felt like, you know, when I started making money on the markets, like I cracked the code. This is how the rich get rich. You know what I'm saying? It really is. It really is. He's right. I mean, people like us, man, we don't have the privilege of coming from big money. You know what I'm saying? Our parents we weren't born with silver spoons in our mouths. We don't have trust funds. We had to get it. We had to hustle. We had to grit. You know what I'm saying? Racism does exist out there. And I think that message was directly correlated with Black History Month. And yeah, we're right at the end of it in February. And yeah, man, I'm Pakistani. I've been hated, and I've experienced racism all my life. I was born and raised in Hawaii in America, but nonetheless, just like anybody else who's brown, I've experienced it. It sucks. It exists. You have to get strong. You have to build a thick skin. Some don't. It's a rough life.
Right. Well, and once again, the thing that will break you out of those modes is moving up class. You can't control your race, but you can control your class.
Yeah.
You can control your life. You can't control how other people feel about your life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to show that. You know what I mean? Because I just thought it was so important. You know what I mean? It's called racism, ? Classism is the real system. And that, you know, and that is the thing about it is we can't. I just feel like we get so focused on the wrong things. You know what I mean? It's, you know, once again, politics and y'all-itics, right? Mm-hmm. Politics uses these things against us to divide us.
Yeah.
You know, and
absolutely.
While it's using race and things of this nature to divide us, it's perpetuating a classist system. You know, Well, it's saying don't be racist and pointing fingers and keeping people divided. It also perpetuates a system of class and keeps that in. And we don't understand that defeating classism is the thing we can do. I can't change another person's heart, but I can change how I live. You know what I mean? And that's the difference, right? So
Yep.
I thought that was powerful. And that was one of his longer ones. And I think for that reason, you know what I mean? So yeah, he's like, it ain't, he's like, I'm straight, but I don't know what's going to happen in the future either. So it's powerful.
I feel the same way, man. I mean, I feel straight, but I'm not. We could all be straighter.
We just, you never know what's going to
That's
happen.
not a knock on anybody, okay? So please don't take that out of context.
Yeah, no, I mean, money wise. I took it as money wise. Money wise.
You know how people are.
But by the way, man, I wanted to let the folks know. Oh, of course, I don't have it just pulled up right now. Let me pull it up. I wanted to let the folks know, man, your last T-Cron Tuesdays was one of my favorite T-Cron Tuesdays ever.
Yeah,
it was powerful. Man,
so tell me why. Tell me why it was one of your favorites, Mike.
I don't know, man. Just everybody likes their own stuff. I can't tell you officially. I don't know. Maybe it was the shirt. You know what I'm saying? The shirt was so fire.
The shirt.
You know what I mean?
Right now, yeah. Well, my shirt was a lot different than it is right now. But yeah, go ahead, man. I'm loud and proud, man. I rep. I rep where I'm from. I was born and raised. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Man,
And it's just what happened. What happened to be wearing at the time. But the song, this one, okay. So I've been getting a lot of feedback where they're like, bro, I know you can bro, you are razor sharp bars, right? We get it. Week after week after week after week, you're hitting them hard, right? But then there's this whole other realm of an audience that you're not connected with. And I said, what do you mean? The commercial joints, the songs for the ladies, or songs that would appeal more to that other. I said, I got you, bro. What you mean? Hold on, I got so much in the stash. Yo, I'm not one dimensional. Okay. And mind you, this song is from a previous mixtape that I've dropped. Okay. So this isn't brand new, but it's brand new if you've never heard it. But anyways, here you go. And this features my my superstar from the islands, Tanya Malia. Shout out to Tanya. Trying to get her back into the studio. We've dropped we've done 4 songs together. Dropped 2 of them. Hoping to do more. But go ahead.
Yeah, man, that was so good. It was so good. Guys, by the way, T-Cron, tell the people where they can find you. We're going to go out on this. I think it's a perfect way to go out with all the stuff we just kind of tried to touch on and talk about, because it's just been crazy. We're going to leave the people on a positive note. You know what I'm saying on that T-Cron? We're going to let them know, man.
Not T-Cron with the red, white, and blue, and all they saw me was in black Dickies with my name on my hat, my shirt, right? Because I was so one-dimensional. But you know what, brother? That's where that 9 years, that's what I was doing over the 9 years, okay? I was taking that one-dimensional T-Cron and making them 10-dimensional. Now what?
Now what?
Now what? What's up? What? Who has what? And I will laugh with you, and I will make fun of myself with you. Okay, that's that Eminem 8 Mile style. Okay, but go ahead, man. Where you can find me? Hit me on the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, T-QRON, T-QRON.com, Tcron.com. You can get some merch from there, whatever that I'm doing. Will be posted up on there. Man, I got bro, there's so many things that I wish I could share with y'all, but I can't until it actually comes into fruition or whatever, because sometimes it just doesn't. But yeah, stay tuned, man. I'm a very interactive rapper. I don't like to pigeonhole myself into that, because now I'm into the podcasting realm as of the last 5 or 6 months, thanks to my man FW Mike. Also, I like to talk about health, as wealth, what we cover here primarily on this show. Of course, this one was a little bit more off topic than usual, but it had to have been done. It was a special time. Yeah, man. Hit me up, man.
Heck yeah. Always, T-Cron is the man every Monday, 7 Central, right here 3 Hawaii standard. We doing it large. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, we're gonna go out on this. Remember, PT Pod, same bad time, same bad channel. Come back for everything. Instagram, Rumble, YouTube, Pickaxe.
Yep.
It's where we are and it's where you want to be. Thank you guys so much.
And if you see this in your feed, like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. Go ahead, Mike.
Let's go. Thank you guys so much.
Gotta do me before I think about doing you. We could equal 4, simple math like 2 and 2. But I don't wanna ruin you. Have you feeling you crash like a bird in the window that it flew into? Baby, I love you, but you love me just a little more. Hurting from bruises, more than a little sword. Stuck like a tree, similar to a sycamore. Breaking barriers. I wanna go and kick the door. Shacking up with you, never wanna leave the crib. Settle down, prenuptials, we could breed a kid. Slow down, I'ma need a sig, cause my followers, they need a heroic leader, dig. Though I'm here every time that you wanna talk. Yeah, on the streets, but you wanna walk. Gotta come and take a stroll with me. But that'll only happen if you're down to roll and grow old with me.